If the world were a single living organism, the crude oil flowing across our oceans would be its lifeblood. And if a hand were to tighten its grip around the carotid artery of this body, everything would collapse in a heartbeat. Today, we're talking about a brutal reality unfolding right now. A coordinate on the map where one single mistake could double your gas and electric bills by tomorrow morning. The Strait of Hormuz. It is March 2026. As explosions rock Tehran and U.S. fleets close in on the Gulf, this jugular vein has officially been constricted. Brent crude has already touched $120, and it shows no signs of stopping. Why does a strip of water just 21 miles wide hold the power to dictate the fate of superpowers? How does Iran hold a wildcard that could vaporize trillions from the global economy? And most importantly, if Hormuz truly closes, how does the world as we know it vanish? Let's strip back the layers of humanity's Achilles heel. Look at the map. It's a cruel trick of geography. The massive oil reserves of Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE are all locked inside a giant pouch called the Persian Gulf. And the only way out is Hormuz. But look closer. Even though the strait is 21 miles wide, the shipping lane deep enough for a supertanker is only 2 miles wide. Imagine ships the length of 3 football fields, carrying millions of barrels of oil, sailing shoulder to shoulder through a gap so narrow that someone on the Iranian shore could spot them with basic binoculars. This is Iran's ultimate leverage. They don't need aircraft carriers. They have mobile missiles hidden in sea caves, swarms of fast attack boats acting like sea wolves, and thousands of cheap naval mines. On the other side, Oman and the UAE. Western allies, yes, but their terrain is flat and far more vulnerable. Here's the detail you need to know. Throughout history, whenever Iran feels cornered, they don't need to strike distant capitals. They just have to threaten to dump a few truckloads of mines into these waters. That alone is enough to make global shipping insurance freeze. To understand the panic, look at the numbers. 21 million barrels of oil pass through here every single day. For every 5 gallons of gas you put in your car, 1 comes from here. But it's not just oil. It's LNG, liquefied natural gas. Qatar, the gas giant, exports nearly 100% of its production through this narrow gap. If Hormuz is locked, the lights go out in Japan, South Korea, and especially Europe. The nightmare scenario? Within 30 days. 1. Oil hits $200 a barrel. 2. Inflation sweeps the globe like a tsunami. Food prices skyrocket. And 3. The stock market vaporizes trillions in a mass panic. This isn't just big oil business. It's about the price of the food on your plate. Back to the reality of March 2026. Why is it this bad? The retaliatory strikes on Iran's nuclear sites in late February triggered a trap Tehran has been setting for decades. This time, the threats aren't just words. Operation Eye of the Storm has begun. Reports show Iran is now using next-gen suicide drones, skimming the water to evade radar, targeting tankers they deem hostile. What can the U.S. do? Send in the Fifth Fleet? Here's the catch. The strait is too narrow. A $13 billion aircraft carrier in Hormuz is like a whale trapped in a shallow pond. It's a massive target for coastal missiles. This is the Hormuz Trap. Superpowers must intervene for energy security, but direct intervention risks a total war that no one can win. The world isn't sitting idle, but the emergency exits are failing. Even with all the bypass pipelines in Saudi Arabia and the UAE, they can only carry about a third of the usual flow. So, who wins? Russia. As oil is blocked, their black gold becomes priceless. Speculators, the ones who bet on chaos. And China, the world's biggest importer, standing at a crossroads. Their move will either open or permanently lock this strait. The bitter truth? Human civilization, our AI, our space travel, our electric cars, is built on a fragile foundation. A few mines in a narrow strip of water can drag us back decades. We are still shackled to fossil fuels. And as long as we are, our fate belongs to those who guard the chokepoints. One final question. Is the 2026 crisis the push we need to abandon oil? Or is it the spark for a great war over the final drops? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.